Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. I have been very humbled recently. I say recently, it's something I've been gradually learning, and that is that I know pretty much nothing. Pretty much nobody has a clue what the flick they're doing. Nobody knows what it is they truly need and what they should be doing, what the right course of action is. Most people who say they know are lying. But some people know some things they might have a knack for. And maybe that's what they should be doing for a part of their lives. So some have a knack for carpentry, some have a knack for painting, some have a knack for music, some have a knack for, I don't know, threads. Some have a knack for trolling. Some have a knack for business. Some have a knack for farming. And some enjoy doing these things, and we can know that about ourselves. We can find out very easily what it is that we're good at. And sometimes the things that we are actually good at are the things that fulfill us. And sometimes it's also the other way around. You know, someone who might have a knack for music might not really find that fun to make music, but they love farming, even though they're not good at it. Even though they may not be physically strong, or they might not have the genetic potential, but yet we still believe that we know so much, and we judge other people. You know what Alan Watts said? I know it's weird to say what other people have said. I'm just quoting Alan Watts here. Wow, can't you think for yourself? No, but there's truth to it, and there's some things that I also want to add to it. He said that person who judges everyone has like no clue where they are, and they're not even close to the destination. They're not close to where they're meant to be. The person who doesn't judge other people but only judges themselves is halfway there, and the person who judges no one has already arrived. Now that hits me deep, that line. We don't really know enough to judge other people either, and I try to not judge other people except for people who are actually genuinely evil. I mean, sometimes we have to judge in order to save people's lives. No, I mean actually genuinely evil, doing evil for the sake of evil, not making mistakes, but being like, you know, I have this intention and I'm gonna chop this person's legs off for fun. That's evil. And I think we can all agree on that. Now, I don't want to go beyond that and be deciding things for everyone. This is just something that most of mankind can agree on. Now, we have our own emotions, we're all flawed, and we don't even know what we're supposed to do with our lives. We make mistakes. Someone can want to save other people and just want to live their lives for other people, just like I have been wanting to, and fail miserably. I mean, sometimes you save a life, sometimes you mess things up, sometimes you hurt people, sometimes things don't go as you hope or how you intended for things to go. Sometimes you get sick, and sometimes you don't have any idea because you had absolutely no guidance. But then again, it's hard for people to guide when people don't have a clue. Which is why, even though I have a knack for helping people, well, that I've earned through all my failures and all my pain that I've experienced, all the suffering, all the misery that I've gone through my life, all the loneliness, I can relate to people in all sorts of, living through all sorts of realities. I can relate to people because I have experience and I have empathy. Now, my empathy has been very painful and not always helpful. But what I've learned is, when I try to help people, don't try to do too much. That's what I've learned. I don't know everything. I might figure something out about a person, and some like very simple things. It's like, hey, you'd probably feel better if you worked out, if you exercised and ate more healthily. That's, you know, oh yeah, I couldn't figure that out myself. No, but seriously, those are the kind of things that we all know. So that's where I start to go from. And then I ask people, like, What are your dreams? What are your goals? What is it that you want? What do you think is lacking, or what do you feel is lacking in your life? Like when you actually get into the deep conversations. Like, what is it that makes you feel lonely? And what is it that makes you feel alive? And it's when you ask these questions where you can slowly but surely start to give people advice. When you start to understand them, understand their pain, understand their situation, understand their way of thinking. You know, people are not the same. We have some similarities with one another, but we are also so different. You should never judge another person based on your lens. It doesn't work that way. Because other people are not the same as you. We cannot be judged by the same standards. Like if we were all judged based on how well we could climb, then the people without arms would not be rated at all. They would be considered worthless, or maybe even evil. And that's what I mean. You have your abilities. You have your outlook. I have my abilities. I have my outlook. So the best we can do is try to treat each other nicely. You know, just try to show each other some level of respect. Now, some people need you to be a little more tough when you're dealing with them. Some people need you to be a little more soft when you're dealing with them. Some people appreciate a bit of humor when you're dealing with them. Some people are into dark comedy. Some people despise dark comedy. We have flavors we like. You know, whatever flavor that you may like, whatever you may love, that's how you feel. Now, I advise you to not take actions that would be detrimental to your future or your life in general. If you can generalize, oh yeah, if you take this action, generally it ends up bad. But of course, some people have to take chances because that's all they can do. But the lesson I've learned that I'm going to take a lot more serious from now on, and I've been taking it seriously for a while, but I'm going to be taking it even more seriously, is that I'm not going to trust myself fully. You know, I don't know all the right choices. Nobody does. I can't trust anyone fully. But hey, you're a carpenter. I can trust you with the carpentry. Probably. You know, I can trust you to do a decent job if you're an excellent carpenter. Yeah. See, I can trust you when it comes to that. I can trust myself when it comes to things, well, that I'm good at, to the extent that I know, and to the, you know, overall, like, I'm just asking myself, does this hurt anyone? You know, me playing piano, does it hurt anyone? Not really. Some people may feel empathy and be sad, but I mean, you have the choice to not listen to my piano. There's no one I'm not forcing it on anyone, right? So it's not a problem. If I want my alone time, it's not a problem. But of course, if I have relations with people and I give them make promises, then I should keep those promises. I can't just be like, oh yeah, no, I decided to go to a mountain instead and just be like this. You know, Yes, I have crippled the sound. I desounded him. That sounds like one of those like villain and superhero comic abilities. Desound. Anyways, we're talking about something serious, and some people will find me abhorrent. Some people will think that this guy is annoying to listen to. This guy doesn't make really good videos. This guy doesn't, you know, he doesn't have his way with words. He's not perfect. You're not perfect, I'm not perfect. In fact, I think I've been useless for most of my life. I mean, that is both my own responsibility and, my own responsibility and fault, and also, of course, people around me have had an impact on me. But it's not, I can't blame other people for their failures in dealing with me because I'm a different person. But when we're trying to understand each other, or, you know, that's the least we can try to do. If I can try to understand you and you can try to understand me, and it's like, oh, okay, let's be nice to one another. And then, even if we're different, we can get along. We can become friends or just acquaintances. But that way, we can start to help each other. And in doing so, potentially heal each other, because you heal through understanding. Being able to understand one another and feel the same way as other people. And, learning more, broadening your views in a positive way, and also being around warm and positive people can have amazingly, positive impacts on your life. It can increase your health by so much. And that is also why I'm extremely grateful to be in Japan. Because if I wasn't, I'd probably not even be alive. So, thank you, Japan. We all have things that we need, and sometimes we're not aware. When I was younger, the only thing I thought I'd ever need was love. But the thing I needed, that I should have probably fixed way, way sooner, is just coming to Japan. That's what I needed. Have a life here. Spend time with people here. There are some areas, there are some places where you are weak. There are some places where you are strong. There are some places that you can grow well, that are tough, or that are kind. There are places where you can challenge things and grow easily, and there are things where you challenge things and you lose faith in yourself and you feel like nobody trusts or believes in you whatsoever. And sometimes maybe they're right. But you can also try to be as honest as you can, and then try to find that place that works for you. You may not know it yet. Most of us don't know it. Most people don't know what their place is. And even if you might think, I know myself really well, it's like, then don't make mistakes. Are you making mistakes? Then you don't know yourself well enough. The more mistakes you make, it's like, obviously, I don't mean mistakes like, you dropped the glass. You sometimes you can't help it. Your hand twitches or whatever in the wrong moment, and we all have probably spilt some glass or some water or some milk at some point in our lives, or maybe alcohol. More likely alcohol, but probably glasses of water as well. Yeah, we make mistakes. So don't judge yourself too hard. Don't hate yourself too much. Don't try to judge others so much, and don't judge yourself so harshly. If you think you've done things wrong, then try to be a better person tomorrow than you were today. Because even if you've made mistakes in life, if you try to improve, whether it's, like you ask God for forgiveness, if that's your path, then that's your path. Or you try to just improve yourself without any outside help, or help from the universe, or whatever it may be. If you improve yourself, you're not going to be the person that made those mistakes. This is how we can change. We can change for the better, and we can heal the world. There are horrible things in the world. There are things in the world that are my fault. There are things in the world that are other people's fault. But we can still try to make the best out of it. We can try to be better people. So, believe in yourself. You're not alone. I don't know if this is gonna help anyone, but even you can make a difference. Thank you for watching my video. I'm gonna get to playing some depressing music, and have a lovely time unit. And thanks to everyone who has supported me. And I'm sorry for every failure that I've made in my life, but I promise to continue to strive to be a better me, and to not repeat any mistakes that I made. Now, I will ultimately spill wine or beer some other time. I will ultimately fail at some things. but I will become better and fail less and less. And the failures that I make will not be important. Because I've learned that about myself. And now it's like, wow, that's a big statement, bro. That's a big statement. No, but you don't get it. I need to make a word salad now. Okay, that's horrible. No, but thank you for watching. Out.